And we're here. That video intro is amazing. I love it. You didn't see it if you're on the live stream, but you're going to see it if it's on YouTube. Thank you, Colton, very much for doing that. Good Lord, it feels good to hear that music again. Thank you, Kevin Hall, to my now actually just leaving our church as the worship director, was the guy who came up with the music that was behind that. Both you guys did amazing. Thank you very much, Kevin. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but either way, thank you. Mike, go ahead and hit him with the synopsis.
Okay, so Crisis on Infinite Earth. Basically, it's the CW's version of the 1985 comic maxi series written by Marv Wolfman and George Perez. As far as the synopsis goes, it starts off with Supergirl. Everyone gathers on Earth 38. Before that, we get an intro where Earth's 9, which is the Titans universe. 66 is the Adam West Batman universe.
Of course, we get 98.
89 is the Tim Burton universe.
89, sorry, 89.
And Earth X. All of these are wiped out in like the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's just go right into this. How do you want to start? Do you want to do each episode or just kind of throw in all your positives at once?
I don't even know, because the weird thing about this is like they had episodes, but they really didn't have episodes, because like Supergirl had a moment and then it was just Crisis. Normally on these things, they'll have the main group is dealing with whatever, but it's specifically for the characters of that said show. That wasn't it this time. It's just everybody's there the entire time. It's all the it'll be really, really hard pressed. The ending of it I didn't like, and we'll get that into the negatives, but people in neighboring countries could hear me screaming when from the stairwell, you couldn't see Kevin yet, but I heard the 90s Batman voice coming from a live action actor.
That was the best way to introduce him too. Like,
voice first.
Yep.
Oh! And the best part was everyone's like, he's Kingdom Come Batman. No, he ain't. No, he's not.
Literally the only similarity between the Kingdom Come Batman and this version is the exoskeleton. Yeah, but that's about it.
That was about it. He was a lot closer to Returns than anything. Which there was still some... They didn't have exact details on anything. They just went, you do you. Positives, good Lord. Ralph needed more movies as Superman.
Yes.
He's so good. And we had him for such little time. That'll again go into negatives, so I can't go into it. I didn't expect to see Titans, even if for 2 seconds. Didn't expect it. Hearing Tim Burton's score for, again, 2 seconds. There was a lot of just 2 seconds. Everything. It doesn't matter. It was 2 seconds.
I think awesome. my positive and negative is all the fan service.
Yeah. There was points where, and again, that will go into negatives, where it was like, we did the cover. See? Get it? It was there. You can't say we didn't, because we might never do one of these again. It's like, we'll get into negatives.
We'll get into that.
But man, it was just, you had Mia and Oliver going nuts, taking out smoke monsters with arrows. It's dumb comic book stuff. We're not going to try and put logic into it. That was cool. I finally got to see Kevin Tran, for anyone that watches Supernatural, do something ever since he got taken off of Supernatural. I can't think of the guy's name, but he's the guy who plays Choi.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Choi.
Yeah, he was a prophet in Supernatural. He's one of my favorite characters, but he just got the shaft in that show. Not bad. His character in the show just got the shaft horrendously all the time. and he's awesome. I'm glad he's doing something else. So I hope he stays, since Ralph's going to be bye-bye after this. But we keep getting to hear Snart as the intelligence in their Aztec, like, Inca looking wave rider.
I forget which Earth it was. I think it was like Earth 74.
It was something. I stopped keeping track after all of that was going through. I was like, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to keep track of all these. But as we're talking about this, a person did make recaps, so I will see if I can bring that up. But like, man, other positives. I watched these very late on not sleep because, like, I have been working a lot lately. That's why you haven't been seeing many movie reviews from us. The holidays and everything.
Holidays are the best, but also the worst.
They're the worst. And I work at a window distribution plant, and we're trying to get everything done before inventory hits because we have an order this year, and it's been busy. But man, I'm gonna see if I can get to it because someone did. Here we go. I'll bring them up on screen share now that we can do this. Hold on. There was application screenshot.
While you're doing that, a positive that I have that I genuinely did not see coming, despite rumors, we got to see Lucifer in the Arrowverse.
We did for about, again, 2 minutes.
Seconds.
2 seconds. It was awesome. It was just like, and everything. Yeah, it's like, no, that's not happening. That's a lie. No one saw him on there. I was like, and again, I got to watch these about 2 days ago. So that got ruined for me, unfortunately, along with a couple other things, but it was still awesome seeing it on there. And it was like, I tried so hard because, like, all of these go from instant positive to, like, the tail end of the moment almost turns into a negative because they go through so much in these episodes. Oh, now I can't think of his name. Spectre.
The actor, the character.
It's a
Corrigan.
Corrigan. He shows up for 20 seconds in Oliver's purgatory state. Like, what? Like, what are we even doing? What are you all setting up here? It's like everything. I mean, everything. I'm fully expecting Mark Hamill full on, like, actual Joker to show up in one of these later episodes. It's like, what's going on? Like, they're just short of seeing Jack Nicholson at this point in Joker makeup with this stuff. I'm like, what is going on? And it's like,
it's a lot of sensory overload.
It's a lot of, and it's like, it's hard to do positives because it was just like, all right, 2 minutes. All right, we got another thing planned. Here's that sketch for 2 minutes. Here's that sketch for 2 minutes. So it's just seeing. I got to, and I was a moron for part 2 of this at GalaxyCon in Minneapolis. I got to meet, now his name is escaping me. Jay Garrick just went. Poof.
Oh, John Wesley Shipp.
John Wesley Shipp, thank you. I got to meet John Wesley Shipp, and for the second time, because I was getting an autograph for somebody else, I got to meet Kevin Conroy. They were both, like, within 15 feet of each other, and when I was getting Shipp's autograph, I was like, man, that crossover is going to be nuts. He's like, yeah, if anything to judge by the last scene I had to shoot is to show, then holy crap, was his exact words. And I'm going to guess that was the treadmill. That will go into a negative again. Small negatives, but I'm staying positive here. They had to bring back Vibe literally just to get Jay off of the treadmill and to get Barry off the treadmill just to throw him right back on. We had a flashback to a freaking scene from the 90s Flash TV show. doing? And again,
confirmed, everything is canon forever.
Everything's canon. We had that. We had Huntress showing up from the old Birds of Prey show, who still somehow looks amazing.
Right?
I was like, did they de-age her? Like, what happened?
No, she looks great.
No, she looks great. We got to see Clark Kent versus Clark Kent, and then we got to see Tom Welling. Speaking of people that still look great, the scene with it'll go into negatives. Lex Luthor, who John Cryer. When I was in high school, if you were going to tell me Alan Harper was going to beat Lex Luthor, I would have beat the tar out of you because you were a moron. But you got to see him go up to Tom Welling Superman, shove kryptonite in his face, and him just go, how are you? And he's like, that doesn't affect me ever since I gave him my powers. You were a god. And then he doesn't kill him because he quote unquote took all the fun out of it. And then Lois Lane comes up and goes, Lex Luthor was just here. He's apparently going throughout the multiverse and killing every Superman. Good one, Smallville. You finally learned how to crack a joke like, she doesn't believe him? If everything in Smallville's canon, that she doesn't believe?
Yeah,
Come on.
That was like a wait. What?
It's like, what? What part of Smallville are we in here? But man, both of them look great. I was fully expecting the old school like Green Arrow to just pop out and go, was that Lex? Or like just something stupid like that. But we still got 2 more episodes. It can happen.
Yeah, plenty room for surprises.
All right, let's go to screen now that I got the thing here. Hold on, going back. Where are we? I'm still getting used to this, people. Earth 1. We've got Ryan Choi. We've got Hank Hall from Earth 9 in San Francisco. Jason Todd. We've got Dick
Earth
Grayson
66.
in 66. 74. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that was the Wave Rider that they borrowed.
Yes. Speaking of, again, we got the comic book cover. Clark Kent and Lois Lane on 75. Where are we? Bruce Wayne, 99. That was 167 with Clark and Lois. Look at her. Look at how good Huntress looks. Oliver Queen, a different Oliver Queen from 2046 that I thought we were going to get the one they met in Legends. But
they did kind of mention briefly, like,
we know the territory.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, when they get up to him, like, he doesn't know Sarah's alive? Like, what? And then, okay, it's just another Oliver Queen from the same exact thing. We got to see Jonah Hex, pre-Scar Jonah Hex.
That's new.
That's new. We got to see the Ray for a little bit. That was awesome. I still can't believe we got to see Alexander Knox. That was nuts. Clark Kent, look at him. Look, just that suit is amazing. Like, and they put the line in there, like, why'd you put black on it? Because even through darkness, the hope shines through. It's just like, that is so dumb, Superman 90s corny. But it works.
Yeah, I think that line that line for Routh is perfect.
It is. And then Gotham in 99 with Luke Fox. So we got to see, oh my gosh, I'm still getting the hang of this, guys. All right. Stop. There we go. But yeah, what big scenes are we missing here? The fight with the Supermans.
Yep.
Man. Them Oliver fending off people to his last breath.
Oliver's resurrection,
because we had to use a Lazarus pit one more time since we're not going to have Arrow anymore.
You know what I really like? I like how involved Constantine is in this crossover.
Very, and even they're like, I don't got powers anymore, love. Really can't do it. that's my version of a Constantine. That's the closest best you're gonna get. And then we got like the card, all of that. I still can't believe we got to see freaking Lucifer one Sorry. I've not watched Lucifer because it just like I never got. It was never my thing. For the 20 seconds, I
never got
Lucifer.
around to Lucifer. But that 2-minute cameo kind of made me want to go back and watch everything.
Yeah. What else? I had smaller notes, but I like just started writing notes, and I'm just like, then it just devolved into me watching, where I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That was cool. I'm crying uncontrollably. Oliver's dead. That was fast. Can we talk about how Oliver dies episode 1?
Yeah, that's quite a way to go.
It was like, really? We're off? And then the monitor just was like, yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. He was just like, yep, nope, nope. And then, like, they changed that. They changed Flash. The anti-monitor looked really cool.
I think I like the anti-monitor look in motion than I did. I like that better than when I first saw like the image.
Yeah, it looks a lot better in practice. The best costume, weirdly enough, I think is Pariah.
Right?
It's so simple, but it looks so good. And like that, yeah, there was that. And then the twist that Pariah was the one that actually let out Anti-Monitor in that cave.
Yeah,
that always had me puzzled. I was like, he's been sitting there that whole time. He just retreats back to there. I'm like, and again, we're just going to go into negatives. I have to stop trying this because this thing is so big. They can't have thought of every logistical, like, that is just dumb type of thing. But Sarah just point blank saying that, where's the rest of your crew? They didn't want to do another crossover.
It's a great line that only Sarah could have gotten away with.
Only Sarah and the Legends crew could have done. And then like Jefferson showing up, that was great. And then
I think that's my big positive.
I've not watched Black Lightning. Openly say it. I was like, I can't tack another show on. I could barely, and I'm still a season behind on Supergirl. With as much as I work, I can't keep up with these anymore. So I'm happy we're at least going to do this. But again, Jefferson for like 5 minutes, he just lost his daughters and he's ready to be a hero again. He's awesome.
Yeah.
That suit looks great. Holy crap.
I don't know if you ever saw pictures of his original suit, but
I did.
The new one looks so much better.
The old one looks like it belonged. It looks like the old one looked like a color corrected 90s cartoon suit. It was so bulky.
Yeah. As much as I love the first 2 seasons of Black Lightning, my one criticism has always been that bulky, like, neon suit.
Yeah, and like this one looks like a dude who was like, I get it. It's got the cybernetics. It looks plain. It doesn't look too over designed. It looks awesome. And it looks like he can move in it.
Yeah, that's important.
He went from a dude that looked like I never realized, just like the dude's built. I didn't realize that looking at the old costume. You actually get to see this thing like shapes over him. Mm-hmm. He's a big dude. Yeah, and then let's go back to the treadmill. Barry jumping back on the treadmill to make sure the other Barry didn't have to. We got to see Vibe again for a little bit. Caitlin got to say bye. Switched off of Frost. Mia getting her green Arrow suit, which was cool. That was a little underwhelming because it's basically just green leather. She'll get something better when her show comes.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But this is one of those, like, we're in crisis. I didn't have time to like bug Cisco.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you do this, we got shaped. It's like the moment in, this is a minor gripe, but it felt for me like where in the end of season 3 of Arrow, where Merlin like stitches Mia's suit together in about 2 minutes. She's like, I need your help for something. And then it's him to meet her when that thing was originally for Roy Harper. Like, come on, guys, come on.
Yeah.
But and then he even had in that case and presented. I'm kind of like, he had something happen before Crisis. He just knew it was coming when she got in, and it just sat there. Don't get to see anything from Laura Lance.
That's a negative.
That's a negative. That was just something I was like, I'm making sure I didn't miss that. She's just not there. It's Arrow and it's Oliver and Diggle.
To be fair, though, we haven't gotten to the Arrow episode yet.
We haven't. I get that. Which we're gonna get everybody to freaking Cupid, Komodo, just everyone that had a one episode thing. There's gonna be inevitably a moment where there is like 14 archers on screen, and everyone's gonna be going ham, shooting at something. I don't know what, but we're gonna get it. As long as Quentin is there, I'm happy, because I was losing my proverbial crap when Quentin got to be there for the Groundhog Day episode right before everything switched.
Oh yeah.
Seeing Kate interact with Bruce, I can't get over it. I hated the ending of it. The end point of it, absolutely hated. But we'll get to that in negatives. But you got to see, like we thought was Kingdom Come Superman, slowly trickle into a more demented version of Returns, to the point of where he has a trophy case with Clark's glasses in it.
Yeah, that got dark pretty fast.
Like, holy crap. And then Luke's just like, yeah, who do you think put him in that exosuit? Of course he killed him. I'm like, calm down, Luke. What's going on, buddy? And then Kate and then Kate put on the cowl in his universe and then died trying to do it. Correctly? I caught that correctly?
Yeah.
Okay. That was, man. We came really close to getting a we came really close to getting a Justice League, the cartoon moment, where when the I'm blanking, Hawkman and Hawkgirl's race, Thanagarians, when they invade at the end of, I want to say it's season 2, right before they do Unlimited, and they have that moment where everyone just wants to know who everyone is, and they're unveiling their secret identities. We had that for about 2 seconds at the start where Kate just whips her cowl off and everyone starts talking to each other. But like only 2 of them introduced themselves. It was Kate and
Mia.
Barrett and Mia? Okay, yeah. I was like, it wasn't even Barrett. I was like, that was funky. But everyone got to know each other. The Paragon thing, I didn't see coming. We'll hit again on one small detail of that in the negatives. But I like the idea of they have these people that are the exact core values of what they were looking for.
Hold on, can I just say this one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
There are 7 Paragons. 7.
Yep.
Think about that number.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I understand why they won't call them the Justice League, but
yeah. It's gonna be called Justice something. I don't know. I would be shocked. I would give them a lot of credit if they get called the Justice League at the end of this. But something's going to happen. And again, that's in my negatives because something, in my opinion, really dumb happened for story point reasons. But yeah, that's really cool. The fact that it's just them and they're at the vanishing point at the very end. Didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah, that's of all the Legends season 1 callbacks, that was one I was not expecting.
Yeah, and like the entire time I was watching this, I'm sitting back thinking, okay, Earth 38's gone. Where Jefferson from's gone. CW just went, all right, everyone's just on the same planet now, so our crossovers will be a lot easier. And then Earth 1's gone. I'm like, this is getting reset because they didn't cancel other TV shows, so how are we bringing all the Earths back? Yeah, and then like we got the infamous comic book shot with Ralph's Superman at the last second there. Man. Is there any pinpoint moments that we really missed that I'm not thinking of?
I think we covered all of them.
There'll be someone that just tells us how wrong we are and has a pinpoint list, but there's just like so many little throwaway moments, lines. If I could have transcribed the script, we would have gotten a lot more, but are we doing negatives or are there more positives you want to go through?
At this point, we kind of have to talk about negatives because they can even turn into positives as we, break them down.
I legitimately, I'm not going to swear because I don't want to do over editing on this because it's probably going to be a long video. The Lex thing replacing Superman, I legitimately hated. Lex is in this crossover to be the guy that makes sure the plans don't work, and the Monitor wanting him to be there because he's like, everyone serves a purpose. Lex, we have not seen the last 2 episodes. Lex legitimately serves the purpose of just being like, that didn't go how you wanted it, now did it? And that's it. He's on the ship for 2 minutes and he steals the Book of Destiny. Why is he here?
I mean, unless his purpose was just leading our heroes to Brandon Routh. And don't get me wrong, I think performance-wise, Cryer's great as Lex Luthor,
which is amazing.
But like story-wise, he's kind of a disruptor.
He is. And then it was so cool. I was so excited to have Ralph be Superman for this crossover. And then we get Lex going up with a page with Sharpie marker on it, going, ha ha ha, I did the thing. Like, really? You couldn't have just, even if he would have, manipulated the paper to look like that weird-looking Lex L, I would have been even happier. But no, he just goes...
It's just Sharpie.
Nope, Lex Luthor. And then that brings up another thing. In these CW shows that rely heavily on time travel for the longest time, Lex openly admits he hears about the Monitor talk about this plan, how at the very end, we're going to have all you at Vanishing Point. Magically, he only talked about this with Lex. For whatever reason, he only ever brought it up to Lex. And then he wrote in this book, in Sharpie marker, that he's going to be at the Vanishing Point. So did he just literally sit there and go, the wave's not here yet? The wave's not here yet. All right, the wave's here. Now I'm going to write it for dramatic effect. Now I appear. He replaced him at the last second. So if we're going by the rules of if you writ it in there, unless he went, all right, just so I can be the biggest dick, right when they're safe, then I replace Superman. I'm like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, he's literally just here to make people go, uh-oh, no. But let's move on from Lex. I love John Cryer, and he's amazing as Lex, but he's done nothing but irritate me in his entire crossover. You go for a negative, because my next one is just how something ended, and it could have been a lot better. So a negative, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. Okay, I genuinely did not see Oliver Queen dying in the first episode. However, in hindsight, because I've seen the crossover, I've seen these episodes twice now. In hindsight, killing him that early is kind of a dead giveaway that they're not done with Stephen Amell just yet.
No, not just yet. He's going to be coming back as Spectre in random episodes when they need him, because they ain't letting that sweet bod go anywhere for too long. And speaking of that, before we get to my other negative, remember when they had to dedicate a whole episode to bringing Sarah's soul back because it was such an arduous experience, and it took so long, and then they're like, Oliver's memories are completely wiped. We're going to have to work really hard to get him back. Oliver, I'm sorry, I should have been there. Dig, it's you! I'm like, come on. If we didn't, and that's where these, I get that they're literally, this is fan service, the crossover. I get it. Man, I get it. But if they were going to have Oliver have an experience, they should have saved that for his episode, because all of the fan service in that episode killed their experience bringing his memories back in Lian Yu, like they could have had a big moment with.
Actually, I kind of agree with that. They could have saved the whole purgatory thing for the Arrow episode.
Because what else are they going to do?
I actually know this much. Like the intro of that episode was written by Marv Wolfman, and it's going to be like the origin of the Monitor and the Anti-Monitor. So that probably takes up a chunk of time.
What else are they gonna do? It's like, that's one thing that bugs me too. These aren't even character-centric episodes like the Batwoman episode. You had Batwoman's centric thing for like 10 minutes. Realistically, these are basically just running on times, and I get that we're just doing fan service, but the other crossovers at least focused on the person that ended up in the time slot.
Yeah.
But either way, they can do what they want. The next negative, Kevin Conroy gets pushed into an electric conduit, electrocuted, dies after a 2-second scuffle with Kate.
Yeah, that's...
After all that great buildup, they could have went on. You could have had them just pushing at each other. You could have Kevin screaming his lungs out about this, and then to really get to up Kate, have Kate rip his freaking head off about how far down he got, and tell her about him trying to save her life, how he went into hiding because he couldn't do it, and how the one mistake he made ended up getting her mom killed. All of this stuff, you could have had Kate just rip his head clean off. That would have been so much better, in my opinion. But you had to have the whole, I've got the kryptonite in my pocket thing get referenced 2 times, and then have Kate try and give it up and then give it back because we needed to have that moment at one point. You could have had the kryptonite moment anywhere in the future with them. You had Kevin Conroy as Batman. You know, everybody watching these shows, not everybody, but like 80% was like, even if they didn't know, they're like, who was that? Oh, that's really cool. That was the guy who did his voice in the cartoons for 20 years.
Yeah, instead.
Go ahead.
And the worst part is up until that moment, I was even liking this, like the dark Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, this was Returns on steroids.
Like a lot of people have their opinions on Batman v Superman, but him quoting that line of dialogue, it fit. It made sense.
Yep, it was awesome. That fit that version of him
perfectly.
So well. He was this weird. He had like 4 to 5 different versions of Batman that just went, and that came out. Oh, and everything was believable. Like, God, was it Kara that says it? Or they like bring up the fact that he's gonna die in a 5-bedroom, 7-bathroom, whatever coffin.
Yeah, like a 11 story, 7 like a 7-story, 11-room.
Whatever. Yeah, that was great. They had that. That was awesome. The fact that they even brought, in my opinion, a little bit, unless I'm missing the exact line from it, kind of like the whole. One thing I forgot to bring up to positive, the mural wall from the Joker gassing.
Oh yeah.
That was really cool. Let's not forget that. That was one moment I completely forgot. And they just said the imposter from Gotham. When they said that, part of me didn't realize what Earths were what and thought they were talking about Batman.
Yeah, I thought that for like a split second until I'm like, wait a minute. This is like a direct Kingdom Come reference.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay. Then they showed the picture. I'm like, never mind. They're doing that then. I didn't know how dark this was getting. But back to negatives. They just like, a lot of it's just going to point to cool scene, only got the last 2 seconds because, again, this is fan service to crossover. There was like this, and again, this is the Last Jedi problem here. It's the one conversation didn't happen, or one thing didn't happen, and that prevents the entire show to happen. If the freaking Anti-Monitor knows all of these events to come, why on God's green multiverse did he not just go cut Nash's head off? Because if we're going to point blank say Nash caused the multiverse tragedy because he let out the Anti-Monitor, and the Monitor is just walking around Central City going, yes, you will have to postpone this crisis because I feel like let him out of his cage. Why did you even say he let him out? That is such a stupid detail to show that this is happening because we want it to.
Oh, Nash, you dumb.
It's just, and the fact that nobody calls out the Monitor when they're point blank like, yeah, Joe was down there in that tunnel. Dibney was down there in that tunnel. I'm pretty sure everyone at Team Flash was down in that tunnel at some point. And they're like, oh yeah, the Monitor's in there. Cool, let's go get him. And then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I let the Monitor out from his cage. Anti-Monitor out from his cage. Really? Where did you let him out from? He's like, yeah, that door I was looking at. Did you know that was there? Yes, but he needed to. What? No. Like, am I missing something to where this doesn't sound as dumb as it sounds?
No, it sounds rightfully dumb, but as we've pointed out, this is also fan service to crossover. So
it is, and dumber thing.
Like, a lot of moments got suffocated because they threw everything in there.
Yeah, and this is like, and should really say this by saying this is comic books. They are literally the dumbest stuff ever at some point. Superman and Big Barda got hypnotized into attempt to make a sex tape by an interdimensional alien named Sleaze in an attempt to make profit.
Comic books, ladies and gentlemen.
Comic books. This stuff is dumb. So stupid things happen. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. And that doesn't even top. Just go look into Superman Reign and radioactive sperm. That one's even dumber. But I'll talk to you about that one after the stream. Man, what else? Just Lex being there, period. We're going to go into setup that the CW does. In my heart of hearts, I don't believe the CW had this in mind when they made that newspaper clipping for season 1 of Flash.
Oh,
this whole thing.
Yeah.
But man, they just meant where it's like, this is going to go bad for you. This is going to go bad for you. This is going to go bad for you. Not really, because we still need to have a TV show. You can't even have Barry disappear. Like, come on. Really? You had to just knock that off on somebody else? I was so ready to have that moment.
Barry doesn't even need to die. Like,
yeah.
I don't know if you saw like the previews for the next part, but
no, I did not.
There's a scene where Barry ends up like in the Speed Force. That could have just been what happened.
There you go. End it right there. That could have been him shooting off the machine into the Speed Force, and then you get him back out. It's not like we haven't done it 1,400 other times.
Mhm.
We're just going to have to talk to his mom for a little bit, and then Barry will go easing back out. That's all you needed. You didn't need to subvert our expectations just for the sake of doing it.
On the other hand, I do think it was nice that John Wesley Shipp got like some closure for the Flash.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. You want to know what would have been really cool? You know what, partner? You're not going to be able to get enough force to do that. I think both of us can fit on the treadmill.
That would have been awesome.
It would have been great. 2 Flashes going off. The literal 90s Flash sounding off to save the day with the current day Flash. Come on. I don't charge a whole lot, CW. You can have these ideas, just credit me. Both of us, we can help you. Please. What else? Again, we can't say Laurel and all of them aren't there because the Arrow episode hasn't happened, so I can't. That's preemptive. We can't say anything about that. The Monitor's gone in the 3rd episode. Legit, like, I can't even really say that's a negative.
The reason I don't think that's a negative is because that is literally how he died in the comics.
Yeah,
by the controlled Harbinger blasting him to death.
Yeah, that is. I'm not as up on older, like, I've not read it. I know people are going to slam me that I'm reviewing this. I did not get into comics outside of like cartoons and video games until about 2005. So there's still older stuff that I need to read. So everybody just please be merciful. I don't know exactly every panel that they're trying to create, but I know a good chunk. So that I did not know. Like getting Layla as Harbinger, that was really cool. That was something the entire time I'm like, why is she an Arrow for years? It's like, why do you just have a person with Harbinger's name as the head of artists?
I became very suspicious of that the first time they used Harbinger as like a code name. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah, and it's like, it's one of those things where they're like, yeah, I'll let her have the name. We might use it, we might not. If so, people just thinking we are. What others for negatives? Man. Part of me was like, one issue these CW shows tend to have sometimes is like they never figure out the problem until 2 seconds before the problem wins.
Yeah.
That was that Harbinger scene in a nutshell to me. That, I think, is what bugs me the most, is like, I can't remember the exact quoting where it's like, the pariah needs to gaze upon the great whatever. It's like, that's how the Animonitor's seeing everybody. And then Harbinger of whatever, she can get the connection with whatever, and then everyone's done. And it's just, it's over. No one can move, nothing. Just rules.
It's an ending that definitely evokes Infinity War.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very correct. Man, there was these are just, like I said, nitpicky. Could have probably used a good another 2 months worth of ironing out some script details. But again, fan service. The only other, there's stupid little things like Oliver and his crew for all of Arrow season were trying to figure out a weapon that could stop the Monitor. And then,
they never actually found it.
And then they never actually found it. But then all of a sudden, in one of Oliver's best moments, I will admit the moment was cool, but we saw it in the preview, so it kind of ruined it. And Martin O'Vu's like, Oliver, we must leave. Everyone is going. And he's like, no, I'm not leaving. And he's like, but we must. No. And he just shoots him with random magical incapacitating God arrow. And then he just goes on with his day. Where was that this entire time? Why didn't you shoot him with this arrow every other time? Because you can't tell me that was an electricity arrow because you weren't short-circuiting electronics on him. What was that?
Yeah, that's I was very confused both times I watched. I'm like, wait, what's going on? What's happening to him?
I don't know. And it's like,
But that moment was cool, like seeing,
oh, it's awesome.
seeing him go up against all of those shadow demons.
You see a man go run full I ain't scared of no ghosts into a crowd of race to punch them. And he comes back looking like he just went 80 rounds with Khal Drago. He's dead now. It's like, oh. Yeah, it's hard to think of all these because they don't really, again, in the other crossovers, they kind of felt like isolated incidents with each one because they really focused. These ones kind of just bleed into them, so it's hard to
It kind of felt like Crisis on Earth X too. Do you remember how that kind of started as an episode of Supergirl, but the whole plot kind of revolved around Barry's wedding.
Yeah. And then it cut off. That one was a little bit more gracious because they even had stuff with I am blanking hardcore.
Martin Stein.
Nope, Siler Lee.
Oh, Alex.
Alex, thank you, Alex. They had like the thing with her and Sarah to help her get over her ex. They had some stuff, but like you're right, that was a split 50-50 episode, or I should probably say 60-40, with Flash more important than hers. And it's like they kind of tried to get all the plots in one, but like they had stop points. These ones kind of like, I almost would have preferred if all of a sudden they're like, for 5 hours today, the whole thing. Because it didn't feel like they just cut off episodes. All those felt like commercial break endings.
Yeah, they did. Now I understand logistically why that can't happen, but
yeah, exactly. And it's like, again, I don't watch Black Lightning. Was there anything missed because I didn't watch Black Lightning?
There was a tie-in episode. Like it's not like part of the crossover, but the episode is called like Book of Rebellion or Book of Resistance Earth Crisis. And like the central plot is like there's red skies over Freeland, and Jennifer is kind of going through her own little like crisis between like her like two different alternate universe versions of herself.
Okay. Excuse me.
As a standalone episode, it was a good one. It's a nice primer for those who are like only Black Lightning fans, but not necessarily Arrowverse fans.
That makes sense. Because I thought that they were going to put all their stuff into one recipe, but I think they're just going to go back to their own little Earths and not have that much interaction. I really thought that this was literally a thing where they just went all of our toys in one chest now, but apparently not.
I mean, yep, the episode does end though with
him
with Jefferson's Earth getting, dusted.
Yeah, that makes sense. And again, this is probably the small last final gripe before we just get into final thoughts. Again, problem not being solved right before problem happening. How in Arrow, Supergirl, Flash, Black Lightning, did we never once mention these magical towers that just pop up in the middle of the Earth?
Oh, the quantum towers?
Yeah, how was there never even a mention of like a legend of something in these books and all these stuff they keep finding about Morno Vu? None of these got mentioned. And they erupt out of the Earth like they were there originally. They didn't just like phantom zone in there.
That might get answered on the Arrow episode.
Oh yeah, that's true. It might. Um. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? I'm trying. It is really hard for me to pinpoint stuff in these episodes. Again, I only got to watch them once, so
I think we covered pretty much all the basic stuff.
okay. I'm going to, since there's only 2 episodes left. This will be the day after, so I'm just going to watch both them through. So I'm a lot better at having the details down. This is getting back to an exact reason of why there is almost no way I think we could handle doing all of these shows on a weekly basis.
Oh yeah,
I would die. But it's good. It's exactly, give or take the gripes. This is what it should be. It's everything thrown in that they could possibly get a hold of, minus Smallville Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rosenbaum just went, I don't know what I'm doing, so no. Yeah. It's good. If you want to have the endorphin just spike every 2 minutes with something cool happening, you're getting what you want. This sounds like I'm downplaying it, like it's a basic thing. This is crazy nuts what they're pulling off.
The fact that we have a Crisis on Infinite Earths miniseries that's like one of the biggest television crossovers, and possibly just crossovers in general in live action, that's just awesome.
And do I need to remind you that back when it was only Arrow, Flash, and Legends, the head of the CW just went, no, Supergirl will not be coming to the CW because we want to have programming besides superheroes because we don't want our entire channel to live on such thing. Now,
cut to a few years later,
Stargirl
is even coming.
Yeah, Stargirl. I was going to mention that afterwards. We have everything, and now there's stuff coming that was supposed to be on DC All Access or the streaming service to the CW. They're like taking stuff off of it to come here. Just make it its own thing. You could just have the superhero network and put the other stuff on CW on something else, and you'd make twice the money.
Yeah.
It's like we got rid of Green Arrow. Oh, wait, we're going to have his daughter just be Green Arrow in the future now. You're just switching the pieces out because you know it works, and I'm fine with that. I really like this Mia character that they have. Catherine McNamara, I think her name is. She's awesome.
She's so good.
She's so good. I love her. And it's like, and they're going to go back. Connor, oh man, I'm blanking on the daughter's name.
Zoe?
No.
Oh.
No, Zoe, because like they left, like she's dead before they left. She's gone. I have a feeling that's going to get fixed, or just she's not in the show. Because the last time we saw her, she was getting skewered by JJ. And then left in the pool on the floor. But if it was just William, Connor, and Mia,
I'd be okay with that.
I don't know
plus also Dinah and Laurel.
And Laurel and everyone else that they'll just go, you guys aren't busy. What do you want to do? Like the only person that I don't think is going to come back after all this and just get dumped on some other show is going to be Dig.
Yeah.
Because unless he like just hops over to the Flash, I really don't see him fitting in the future where his son is the leader of the Deathstroke gang. And like, did they even get confirmed that Dig's alive in that setting?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't think so.
Because you got Felicity, Dinah, Laurel, Zoe, Renee.
They never explicitly said that he's dead, but the way they talk about him in that time, he can't possibly be alive.
No, because he would. There'd be no way they could have him be alive and be standing for the crap that's going on between his kids. There'd be no way. Part of me even thinks they're going to reveal that JJ killed him.
Now that would be that'd be something.
And like Connor probably doesn't even know. That's going to be something. I'm putting that stake in the ground right now. If that comes true, holy crap. Yeah, do you got any other thoughts? We kind of sidetracked on there. This whole thing has been sidetracked the review, but
yeah,
I had a good feeling that's what it was going to turn into.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Final thoughts. If you've been an Arrowverse fan since Arrow, then you should have already seen the crossover like 7 times.
Yeah, watch it. Even if you got lost, like I'm a season behind in like 2 episodes on Supergirl, I still enjoyed it. And I will say this is one thing that does benefit from how they're doing it, because in these last crossovers, they were show-centric and they delved upon old details from that current season and then made them a subject and helped the character change with the events that happen in the crisis to help them mold and go on with their story that they're with. In this, they nicely tied up everything in a neat little bow so they could just chuck everybody in the toy chest and go, don't mention anything from your stuff other than Oliver's, him dying. Other than that, they're like, no, Barry, you don't got to talk about nothing with Bloodwork. Supergirl, you don't got to talk about Leviathan. You don't got to talk about anything else off Arrow. It's just like, nope, this is Crisis and Crisis only. So if you have not seen anything from these current seasons,
then you can follow this just fine.
Yeah, you have no problem. You don't got to worry about anything. You just need to know where they ended up beforehand before they got zipped away. And they tell you that in the show. So that is one giant positive about these not being storyline centric for other stuff. So that is one positive we can get out of that. One negative that did turn into a positive. But just, yeah, watch it. It is the closest thing to, like, other than, in Smallville, you're getting like the entire Justice everything showing up.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, if Oliver Queen actually shows up as Spectre, I don't know how that's going to look, because he can't come out looking like the freaking Grace, like, I'm having a stroke today. I cannot think. Oh my gosh. It's like looking like Skeletor, but like with the hood and the whole everything. You can't do that. They're gonna make their own version of it. It'll be whatever, but that we have an Arrow episode and a
Legends of Tomorrow episode.
Oh, that's gonna be you want to talk about fan service, the episode.
It's gonna be 40 minutes. Well, no, because they're both back to back. It's gonna be 80 minutes of just all fan service.
All fan service, especially on Legends, because they have a time machine where they can just go, we need to go there, we need to go there. What was a thing we couldn't logically put in place without time travel that we want to show people? Just chuck it all into Legends. That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't think there'll be much editing they'll need to get done on this, so I probably should be able to have this up tomorrow or Thursday, and then the other ones will come, and then we'll have those down. That'll be a little bit more tight and concise, like I said, because we'll watch them at least 2 times over each, so we'll have more down. I'll try and actually have notes and be a little less just like my brain sucked into it. But, yeah. Mike, where can everybody find you?
You can find me Twitter at Captain K42, Letterbox, Coach K42. Find me in all the various Facebook movie groups, just at my name, Michael K.
You can find me literally everywhere at, I'll get this eventually, there, at that handle on YouTube. I have an Instagram now, much is against my will. Twitter, Tumblr, everywhere at that. and that obviously, on Twitter. So thank you everyone for watching this. We greatly appreciate the just clicked over an hour of us rambling about these 3 episodes. It was a lot of fun. I will admit I miss talking about these people, but like I said, this is all we're going to be able to do. Maybe do like review episodes at the end of our thoughts of a whole season. Maybe.
We'll see.
Don't even attempt to hold me to that, because it probably won't happen, but we'll see. But thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you later this week. See ya.